You're probably wondering why there's no sound. You're probably wondering why I'm looking at you. Yeah, you. You. I just wanted you to have a moment from me giving you what is already yours, peace. I'm trying to illustrate to you that you're worth even that brief moment. That's right. You are. So right now, you're in a place and you're starting to second guess. That's right. You're starting to second guess all that you've seen, all that you've experienced, even gotten to the point that you were almost convinced that the life that you know as of right now, your reality right now, is the end all be all. But it's far from it. Yes, this is not your reality. This is your condition. And this is reflection that is found in you. So, what I'm trying to convey to you right now is this: you're loved, but I need for you, just like I gave you that minute, to love yourself. Because, see, that is nothing but a flicker of display of your worth. See, I can't, even if I had the power to do, I don't have the ability to claim your life. I don't. All I can do, which keeps me grounded, keeps me humble, is illustrate that, yeah, you do matter, but your self worth is priceless. So I'm doing this for you. So right now, you're starting to see a lot of things, and there are a lot of things that are met pretty much pissed you off. Oh yeah, you pissed off. You're spending so much energy trying to convince everybody that is in that fake circle that no, you okay, you can deal, you built for it. But we all know that is a ruse now, don't we? Oh yeah, it is. Because see, that ain't nothing but a depiction or a display of fear. And I like to use the word fear is finally everything's a reality because that is the reflection of what's going on with you right now. I know I'm talking to somebody. And just like you, I don't like wasting my time because nobody's promised tomorrow. You're not promised this next hour. You're not promised next week, 6 months from now, or a year. Doesn't matter what you have in the bank. Doesn't matter what you drive, and it doesn't matter what you think is your reality. Because we all know that if there's no peace inside you, it don't matter. I know I'm talking to somebody. So I took that second, that moment in the beginning, to let you know that you're only fooling yourself. You are self-inflicting pain. You are trying to keep up with the status quo. Come on, haven't you heard? Keeping up with the Kardashians? That ain't nothing but wordplay for keeping up with the Joneses. And the commonality is this. It is nothing but an archetype. It is nothing but the proverbial brass ring. But if that brass ring has no compassion in it, if that brass ring has no love in it, if that brass ring has no definition of purpose, what's the point on even reaching? I know I'm talking to somebody. See, this message right here is for you. Yeah, it is. Because see, right now, part of your life, you think you got it together. But we all know behind closed doors, you're shaking like a leaf. You're starting to understand that that road, that was that bridge that you thought you proverbially broke, burned down, is the same road that is going to be needed to find you. That's right. So that means you got to be honest with yourself. And the question is, why aren't you? Why aren't you? Ain't nobody can love you like you. Just like no one can see or feel what you do. You see that. Your spirit is contained in this body of flesh, but you're a spiritual being first. Why are you conditioning your mind? You trying to. You trying. You've you've come to that point in your life where you're saying, well, you know, what worked yesterday don't work today. And it seems like people see right through me. Yeah, they do. But I'm a firm believer of this too, just like the old proverbial saying, birds of a feather flock together. But someone's leading the pack. So who's leading you? That's why you hear there are followers and then there are leaders. See, leaders will never embrace their fear. They won't. But even in that position, guess what? There's a conscious decision that has to be made. See, you can embrace the path of ego and pride and get the quick payout. Oh, yes, you can. It will always glitter. But we also know so does fool's gold. Or you can finally do something that you have dreamed about, had conversations inside your mind. No, you're not crazy. You got clarity. And have a little courage. Have a little courage to do something that you know you needed to do long ago. But guess what? Until you make that proverbial first step, you can't get back to you. You can't. Hold that thought. Give me a second, I'll call you back. It is imperative to do the inventory that is called your life. If you're starting to see things like an old 8-track, for some of those that don't know what I'm talking about, because even that was before my time. An 8-track was nothing but a means of putting music, or depending on savvy you were, you could even put video on it. and it was on big reels, like proverbially going to the movie. Before movies became digital and HD, they were analog. And before they were analog, well, you were put on these big magnetic tapes, and all that information of what was being conveyed would be played on these big old reels. That's why you heard the term reel to reel. But see, a lot of times people don't know how to keep it real, and they keep on spinning. And depending on how well, I got to say it for what it is, how much they embrace their fear and denial, guess what? Eventually, that tape pops. We know that as an emotional breakdown, though, don't we? You get to a point where you're tired of being mistreated. I know I'm talking to somebody. You want to hold on to something so bad because of what it looks like or what it gives you, but we know there's a price for it. So let me ask you this. What is the price to be you? Hmm. If you only decided to have the courage to be still, why you think you got them voices in your head running off to the psychiatrist? He can't figure you out. He hears the stories all the time. So when he's stumped, what do? They give you some medicine to calm you or dumb you down. The medicine that you need comes from one source. I ain't got to tell you. I ain't got to tell you. Why is it when you have a burden on your chest and you finally are able to release it, you feel that weight come off of you? Why? That's your medicine. That's why a lot of people to this day are scared of the truth. So what about the truth that has your name on it? It's called your legacy, your life story. No, I'm not saying take a position to romanticize your life, because we know that is far few in between, because you've gone through a lot of peaks and valleys, haven't you? You waiting for your come up, when really you should be thinking about your breakthrough. See, when you decide to ground your feet, the pain will go away. You'll start to understand what was already needed all along. It was found inside you, and it's a beautiful you. But the question I need to ask is this: how much pain got to go down before you finally decide to not only stand, but get back up? See, your life story is not supposed to be the person that endures the most pain, embraces the most losses. I know. You're saying, well, Gerald, what about those bonds that I had that they're not here? And I can even break it down to those that you had significant bonds with that have passed on. I know I'm talking to somebody. Yeah, you speak their names in your dreams. You wish you had one more moment to say the things that your heart longed to say, but you don't have that. Well, I believe that these people end up becoming either two things. They end up becoming your spirit guides, or unfortunately, they become your demons. It just depends on how the connection was forged. If it was pure, guess what? You can't kill love. Please believe that. That's why when things occur, you have to look at it for what it is. That's why I'm a firm believer of this. God gave you two choices, two gifts, excuse me. The first gift is to unconditionally love yourself. You set that archetype or template on what is to be received in your life. The second is free will, the gift of choice. Do I go this way or do I go that? Do I say no? Do I say yes? Either way, you're there. That forges your reality. So it is very important to see the value of choice. But I know that there are some of you right now, you don't care about that. You don't even really care about what just came out of my mouth, but I love you anyway. All you really care about is, how do I make the pain go away, Gerald? I've been in torment for years, and now I'm losing the last piece of me and I'm becoming numb. You're starting to see that in your actions, and part of it seems exhilarating because it's a new side, but then you know that there's regret there. So anything that has regret should be a red flag to you to let you know that is something that is not good for you. But then you must be honest with yourself. See, Maya Angelou once said, when a person shows you who they are, believe them. I had to learn that. I had to learn that myself. You're looking at a man that for over 25 years, I say 30, maybe longer than that, suffered from low self-esteem. Yes, I was. All I wanted was Gerald to be loved. Because, see, Gerald has a big heart. But, see, the problem was Gerald didn't have boundaries. Because, see, Gerald didn't know his worth. And I used to wear a big mask. A lot of people didn't know that. Oh, yeah. Was I a ladies' man? Very much so. But trust and believe, if you were walking with me, you had to have something that made you unique. Oh, no. I never was the kind of guy that was caught up on the physical. Nah. Mm-mm. What stimulated me was the intellectual. Now, listen. I know some of you are like, come on, man. You telling me that you never was attracted to someone by their appearance? Of course I did. But at least I knew this. To have me in your life, at the least degree, you had to bring something to the table. Mm-hmm. But see, that requires work. That requires commitment. That requires loyalty. See, these are all traits that were already in me. And just like when you're little, your parents or that significant caregiver that spent the most time, I needed mentoring. I needed someone to mold me, to influence me, because that's what makes up your psychology. That's why it's very apparent to have both parents, because left brain, right brain. Queens, why do you think do you find it not coincidental that you get to a point after being disappointed and disappointed and disappointed and realizing that the tricks that you've learned from seasoned females in your life, when they start to exacerbate and they don't work, you become not only numb, but you're past the level of frustration, but yet you never get frustrated with yourself. You never take ownership for your life. Why is that? Is it too painful for you to look in the mirror and see how beautiful you really are? If you decided to do that, not only would you see what makes you you, but you would have more money in your pocket. I ain't gonna tell you that. The beauty industry is a billion-dollar industry, and they make money off of your insecurity. Come on now. Let's tell the truth. Let's tell the truth. But right now that doesn't matter because all that matters right now is that hole that's found in your heart, right? I know. And I love you, Queens. I'm gonna always be that sounding board. God's greatest gift was woman. But if woman does not invest in herself, the the blessing is really a curse. I know I'm talking to somebody. You attract what you put out. Why you think the flavor of the generations, we're probably about the third, almost fourth generation now, has always been in the bad boy. I always liked him, the one that was against the grain. The main reason why you're attracted to him because there actually are elements about this person's personality that is found in you. And then so you find a sense of comfort in that, a sense of safety in that. I ain't got to tell you that, Queens. Come on. Y'all like walking around with them two-legged pit bulls. You use that to sometimes fuel your personal agendas. But at what price? To be mistreated, to be disrespected, to not see the true uniqueness of your presence, your essence. And then we wonder why the generations that will come behind us seem lost. If we weren't in a generation of puppets, we are on the verge of it now. I ain't got to tell you, mama, for my single mamas, some of y'all going through the burdens now. Your babies don't even want to listen to you. It takes like an act of Congress for you to for them to make your bed. You got to do a plea bargain for them just to feel safe in their own home. Why? Because they don't even know themselves. They don't know themselves because they don't respect them. They don't respect themselves and see their worth because they don't see yours. See, my queens, I say this out of love. And as you decide, whenever you decide to do the work, you will be bringing yourself one step closer to the life that is really yours. Why you think that? Aren't you tired of kissing those frogs? You know what I'm talking about. You guys have been in a classroom called pain, and the only thing changes is the face. The behavior stays the course. Why? Because that's extensions of you. Energy out is energy in. Spiritual connection out is spiritual connection received. So when you're going to do the work, now I know right now some of y'all probably clicked off this video, gave me the thumbs down, and you very well can. You can. But you know what? What you fail to realize is you didn't even realize. See, if I already put a spiritual seed in you, and if you're upset at what I'm conveying, which is with it's coming from straight love and compassion, because I see your worth. So in other words, I know you can. I know what you deserve, what you need, not what you want. So I'm not going to sugarcoat anything, but I'm not going to disrespect you either. And I know that usually when people don't want to deal with something, they automatically turn the volume down or they put that block up. That ain't nothing. but spiritual warfare going on. Because see, what you fail to realize is angels and demons exist. Please believe that, y'all. The devil is real. So, with that being said, why would God bring you pain when all he wants to do is protect you? And for those that may be in that position in their life where you are going through a season of pain, that is nothing but what we know as you're going through a season. And what is being placed in question is your authenticity. So if you don't fight for you, why do you expect for things outside your door to fight for you? Hmm? In other words, what goes on outside your door does not matter until you open the door. So when are you going to have the courage to open the door to your heart? I know. I can hear somebody right now. I know, Gerald, but every time I try, I always get my feelings hurt. You always get your feelings hurt because you don't respect yourself. You have a position where you feel like, well, if it's not reciprocated the way I want, I'm going to change it by all means. To only do what? Be in more denial, embrace more pain. Because, see, we as human beings, spiritual beings first, do not have the ability to change anybody. We can inspire, we can motivate, and we can guide. But at the end of the day, it is that person's free will that will usher the direction they go in. I know. I know somebody saying, well, you mean, Gerald, that's the only reason why I wish I knew this a long time ago because I'm trying to get him off the couch. But you're in an influx because in the back of your mind, he's the best lover you've ever had. He's shown you things and taught you things about your body that you thought you would never learn. But guess what? When the lust levels off and the soreness rises up, why is that guilt right there? Why is that shame right there? Some of y'all have even convinced yourself, well, you know what? I wish I had this before. I wouldn't have had to go through all of those things. Maybe that was a blessing in disguise. And you've also convinced yourself that, you know what? To have someone truly, you're going to go through sacrifices. Let me tell you something. Love don't hurt. And if they truly valued you, why would they try to hurt you? Why would they try to strong arm you? Why would they try to manipulate you? Mm-mm. Because, see, when someone loves you, guess what? They would give you their last breath. And see, that's a question I want to ask y'all right now. The people that are in your lives right now, I don't care if it's your family members or those that you think are your family members, because we're in an age where we have secondary and third subfamilies. You're more closer to the people that you know by association than the blood that runs through your veins. Why is that? Why is that? When you would actually ground your feet, you'll come to understand is they're your family because you think the same. The actions are more intent, and there's no cut cards there. Some of you are thinking right now, well, yeah, you know what, Gerald? You're right, because if I had the ability, I would trade the family that I have for someone else because I've been nothing but a martyr or a victim in this situation. Unfortunately, we don't get to choose the family, our parents. We don't have that divine right. But if you decide to be still, you'll come to understand that A lot of your lessons were from them. That's part of your existence. And when you decide to master them, guess what? You break the cycle. We also know it as a generational curse. Some of you, by the moment that you took your first breath, were deemed to be the matriarch or the historians of your family. And you're going to tell the truth. And some of that truth is not going to be pleasant. And guess what? Your family members are scared. Why do you think you're going through what you're going through? Because what you're witnessing are strongholds and soul ties. Why do you think that somebody right now is scratching their head and say, well, you know what? I want nothing more than to have a loving bond with my family, but every time I try to come around, they throw the kitchen sink at me. Every time that I try to share a direction or an investment for myself by my merits, there's always that one person that wants to shoot me down. Why? Because you're seeing fear. And you have someone that does not want you to grow. And you've been dealing with it. Some of y'all been dealing with it for almost 20 years. And you don't understand, why is it that someone that should protect me and love me treat a stranger better than me? The real reason why they do that is because there are aspects and traits about you that you are exhibiting that remind them of themselves. I know I'm talking to someone. Why do you think you're seeing so much pushback? It's to set you up to push through. Push through to the real you. You think your life is supposed to be filled with nothing but pain and disorder? You're supposed to settle, but you're walking with him. Sure, on the outside, he's Mr. Got It Going On. Your family loves him to death because of what he brings to the table. But secretly, they despise him. And you're in turmoil, you're in flux, because you want to have that image in your mind, what is known as truth. But what you fail to realize is this: if that person, male or female, does not have a relationship with God, it's not blessed. And eventually what will happen is you will see the veil revealed of the lesson why you were with that person. It doesn't matter how good you are in the bed. It doesn't matter what you bring to the table on a materialistic point of view, because let's be real. You could have everything under the sun and drop dead tomorrow, and you ain't taking that with you. These are nothing but aspects and tools to aid you through your legacy. Do you think everything that's going on is happening by chance? Some of you have even embraced this disposition of fear and arrogance, and you saying, well, you know what? What don't kill me make me stronger. Okay. So you're telling me you are supposed to be the one person that's supposed to that carry the burdens of them? What about the burdens you carry every day just being you? What about that? But they supposed to be your friends. Where your friends at when you're going through what you're going through? Some of y'all got money woes right now. If you ground your feet, you'll come to understand this. Maybe spiritually that is a red flag to let you know. I know I'm talking to somebody. Every time you step out of what you're not supposed to be doing, your money goes like this. And you're trying to struggle in your mind, well, how can I rob Peter to pay Paul and have it all together? You can't. That's not where you're supposed to be. And it's not to punish you, it's to let you know that there is something better, something that has your name on it, unleft to be claimed. Why do you think you're going through health issues now? I know I'm talking to somebody now. You in and out of the doctors and they don't understand why. You ever heard of the term afflictions? Come on now. There is a world that we can't see. It's under the veil. And some of y'all are on a crash course to see something that got death written all over it. It's not, is it? Okay. I know somebody right now, you just sat up. Why you think everybody in your environment are taking big losses? You've probably seen death a lot. And directly it's not impacting you, but emotionally, indirectly it is. I just met them the other day and they're gone today. It's to let you know the path that you're going on ain't the right path. Come on, man. I need you to love yourself. What's the worst thing that can happen out of that if you decide to invest in your life? You have a better one. But if you are doing this, trying to find things to distract you from the reality, let me tell you what, you're gonna burn yourself out, and you're gonna make a reality that is gonna be it's gonna be very hard to come out of. But I'm a firm believer that God makes a way when there is no way. That's for somebody. No matter what you've gone through, no matter what the shame is, when you have the courage to claim your life back, that's the moment that you'll have that you'll make that you'll actually be honest with yourself and have that conversation. That long overdue conversation. Some of y'all ain't even seen your tears in 5 years. And you putting it in that emotional backpack called your pride. But you don't realize you're killing yourself slow. That's why your health is the way it is. Come on now. You don't deserve that. But see, your friends, gotta love them. You down them. They know you down. And you hearing this. Oh, you know what? I gotta go, man. Just holler back. Yeah, just call me when you work that out. Translation. I don't have the tools to help you out of that situation because I'm in it too. And you just didn't see the mask in that. So since misery does love company, I need to put some distance. Why do you think they fall off so much? Hmm? Why do you think they fall? They just disappear. But the moment that God brings you through it, God shows favor even when you don't deserve it. You know why God shows us favor? Because he's trying to let you know through his grace and mercy that it's an illustration of what you can have. But we all got to do the work, right? Got to do the work. You're not going to find peace of mind in that bottle. Some of y'all are dealing with the fact that you know you are functional alcoholics. Some of you are using and exploiting your sexuality. You're searching for love at all costs. Oh, that means I got to do something out of my comfort zone. You know why it's out of your comfort zone? You know why? Because that's not you. That means you're settling. And that's why it feels so exhilarating, because you know in your heart and mind that's something you're not supposed to do. There's no happy ever after in bad behavior, but death and pain. And the suffrage is long. Some of y'all have gotten to the point now that you're so numb. You're so numb that when you look yourself in the mirror, the weariness stands out even more. So you got to put that mask on a little more so that you at least think you got it together. But you also know that you're only one disappointment from emotional breakdown. But those are your friends, right? When you don't play your part, they're quick to tear you down. What I'm trying to get you to understand, when it comes to your self-worth, there is no price. There is no price in compromising you. Oh, because he bought you a car? He put you in a fancy residence, or better yet, he got you right under his wing, and you think you're winning. You don't realize that you just became the new slave. And if you don't act your part, play your position, first of all, there is no loyalty there. And what you won't do, guess what? He got 3 or 4 that will do it on a whim. Same with you, my kings. You got that. You got that inkling in the back of your mind. You just can't put your finger to it. You know why you can't put your finger to it? Because you won't put a finger on you. So guess what? It's not going to fit in that box. Because that box is broken. And until you decide to do the work, that term Mr. does not apply to you. Yeah, I said it. Because when it comes to your life, you'll come to realize the things that matter most are the things that are most sacrificed. So what about your happiness? Some of y'all don't even smile no more. I used to be like that. I lost my smile for almost 10 years. So much to the point I didn't even realize it. I conditioned myself over a period of time. Oh, I thought that I was doing right, very responsible. I strived to be one of the good ones. But I wasn't one of the good ones because I wasn't loving me. I was settling. That's why, Queen, you ain't found Mr. Right yet. Oh yeah, you'll find plenty of men that'll lay on top of you. hmm And after the deed is done, then the revelation comes. That's when the shakedown occurs. You're not crazy what you feel. That is your discernment trying to tell you you need. That ain't the route. But see, you've got a soul tie now. And spiritually, you are joined together. And the euphoria that comes with that is very intoxicating. Well, let me tell you this. If you think that, yeah, you're thinking about him now. But let me tell you what. Imagine what you would feel with the one. Oh, I'm talking about the one that places God first in everything he does. hmm His job is to show you the other half of your life that you know nothing about. And that has peace. that has harmony, that has growth. There is no insecurity because they come from a place of truth and honor. That is why he has deemed you his queen. See, when you think about it, there is no woes there. Why do you think Drake was singing about that? Because woes is nothing but a word to describe really misery, burdens. You're running through the street with your woes, running through the street with your emotional backpack, running through the street with your emotional burdens. Why are you running through the streets if you're comfortable in your own skin? You shouldn't, because there shouldn't be no fear. You shouldn't have to worry about looking over your shoulder or remember what you did or what you said. All that does is set you up to be a schizophrenic. And once again, there's that medical physician to say, that's okay, take 2 of these, call me in a week. And you wonder why your internal organs are in. Come on, you know what I'm saying. When you going to make the determination that your life matters? Happiness is not found in between your legs. It's not found by the money in your pocket. It is found in your spirit. That's when you are free. That is when you know what inner peace is. Because guess what? There's no fear there. There's none. And you will also have this gift. You will have clarity, and then you will have to see those who had your best interest. Oh yeah, I believe that everybody's given this one gift. God affords us this, even when we don't deserve it. There is somebody that, since you've been on this planet, that has an unconditional love for you. And they might not even be in your life, but they're praying in your behalf. They're praying for your breakthrough. They're praying for your deliverance. But I know there's somebody right now saying, well, Gerald, that's all fine and dandy, but guess what? My light's getting ready to get cut off. Oh, I know I'm talking about somebody. There's somebody right now saying, well, Gerald, you know, I gotta make a decision if I'm gonna sleep with that guy that I know has no respect for me. He uses me for a piece of meat. He's already exploited me so much, and I've got the shame and burden on my heart. I don't know what to do. How much you got to go through before you'll finally have that conversation? It's not his responsibility to seek you out. He created you. So right there, that was the first illustration of love, because you exist. But until you're able to break through that fear, you'll never be honest with yourself. So if you can't be honest with yourself, why do you expect your environment to be honest with you, or you be honest with your environment? That's where that like-mindedness comes from. Your circle will never tell you the truth. Mm-mm. They used to go on with the flow. Birds of a feather flock together. But the moment that you step out of pocket, guess what? They already got stuff on you. And little do you know, they may be plotting on you all along because you're doing the work for them. So they're riding on your coattails. And you know it. You know it. You even try to outthink things and say, well, I'm going to do it this way just to see what ripple effect comes from it. But guess what? You still got to go through the lesson because you don't see your worth. The moment that you decide to say, hey, I love myself, and I'm willing to do what I need to do at all costs. Even if that means I must sever my ties with my family, if that means I got to sever my ties with my friends, because really those are not your friends. These are nothing but opportunists in waiting. Come on now. Think about it. Think about those little side comments that were said. Some of them have actually told you in a cunning way that anything that you possess, they want, if given the opportunity. Even your girl, even your man. And you've seen it. You're not exempt because you would do the same. So you think God's going to bless you for that? Come on now. You're worth it. So, for those that have seen the end of this video, just know this. The sacrifice that is required for you to have the life that you know in your spirit to be a reality starts the moment that you start to take accountability for your life. You got to stop running from yourself. That ugly truth, you got to be able to look at it. Then, as you look at it, question, be honest with yourself and ask yourself, why did I do that? Why did I waste my precious time, my life? Why did I invest that choice for what? And you'll see, even for a second, where that fear came from, where that insecurity lies. Some of you already know I'm speaking it to an existence, and it's looking you right in the face. You want your honor and dignity? You got to claim you. Nobody can give you that. Steve Harvey said it best. I don't know where he got it from, but I heard it the other day, and I know it was synchronistically meant for me to hear it, and I'm going to echo it to you. He said, you don't need anyone's permission to change. So if you don't like your reality, why don't you make the decision to say, this is the day I'm taking another direction. But see, I know some of y'all won't do it. Oh yeah, some of y'all won't do it because you're scared. And good, be scared. But let that fear be the motivation to change and put you in a position to break through it. Because you know what's found on the other side of your fear? Your blessing. One step at a time. You can have that life, my man. You got to do the work. You're like, I need to go back to school. Stand up, make the first step, come up with a game plan, and pursue it. It's your life. It's not your boys. And the more and more that you step into your life, the more and more you'll be divided from those who don't see your worth. I ain't got to tell you, you're thinking about them right now. Yeah, I'm talking about them. Because every day is a day that you can't get back. But it's also an opportunity to make the most of it. Why is it in pain? Why is it in anger? Why is it in frustration? He got you running around like you his mother. I'm making light of it. No, I'm not. He got you playing surrogate mother when you really just a lover. But you won't love yourself. What's that? Come on. Look here, my queens. I keep telling you, the man of your dreams is a spiritual man. But guess what? God will not give you that gift to squander it. He'd rather give it to someone else that will appreciate the blessing. Don't let your blessing get misdirected. But if you're not willing to get up and claim you, it's time for you to open that emotional backpack that's got all that pain, all those secrets. See, that's the thing. You'll never have inner peace until you address those secrets you got, those deeds that you've done. How about all those wrongs you've caused? It takes more strength and courage to admit you're wrong and ask for forgiveness. How about forgive yourself? Forgive yourself. I know some of y'all have been on this path for so long, and it came from your childhood. Somebody that you trusted very well didn't protect you, and you had to deal with incest, molestation, rape, and you've got this root in your spirit, and you think that that's the justification for your choices, when secretly you hate. You hate. But what you don't realize is you got to hate yourself first to hate anybody. And and it's a travesty to hate anybody, because guess what? You may be blocking your blessing. I know that need to go out to somebody. You turn around and say, well, you know what? I'll get you back. And you put your body on exploitation. You being promiscuous because you think that's going to make you feel alive. No, it robs you. Why you think we got sexually transmitted demons? How you think soul ties exist? Oh, I didn't know. You keep going through spiritual doors. Some doors are only meant to be observed from afar. And free will, you walk through it, guess what? You got to own what's on the other side. Why has it got to be pain? I feel it in my spirit. I'm going to shut up. Something is telling me, do you want to have the life that your uncle has? Do you want to go through the pain that your grandmother went through? How about your mom? That's the path you headed. That's the path. They don't call it a generational curse for nothing. You're supposed to be the one that's supposed to break that. You're supposed to be the one that's going to deliver the rest of your family, because they're looking at you. Why do you think everybody gravitates to you like a light? Because inside your spirit it's blessed. But you so insecure. You so confused. You're confused because your environment wants to keep you deaf, dumb, and blind, and ultimately destroy your life. See your worth. God is praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. Come on, man. You're worth it. If you only realize how beautiful you are. You don't believe me? Make this the day that you make a conscious step to break those patterns. And look, you want to step out of your comfort zone? Because your comfort zone is what's killing you. Why don't you go talk to somebody? Go get a second opinion. You got a full-time job? Guess what? You got medical insurance? And guess what? Your first 2 visits to talk to a counselor. I know we don't do it. We so prideful, and then we wonder why little Larry wakes up and we find out he ain't here no more. He did something stupid. Or worse, committed suicide because he felt he wasn't loved. I know I'm talking to somebody. How much pain you got to go through? How much? Because every day that you decide not to claim your life back, that's a day that that's a day that you sacrifice for nothing. And love don't hurt. And for that, for that, for that, it helps me discern mine. We getting ready to roll in the field and roll in the fall, y'all. Make this a season that's blessed. You can't tell me somebody prayed for me and I got my life back. I'm praying for you. Don't you think it's worth it? I do. Love to hear from you. Bye.